What's going on, guys? It's your boy Spudzie here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the highest damaging spec for Revenant, with that being a Vindicator. A Vindicator is a power-based DPS build that lives for the sole purpose of just dealing damage. It doesn't provide any real meaningful boons that supports won't already be covering, but that is not an issue thanks to how much it's just able to pump out during these fights. The fact that most Vindicator builds, like this one, are very forgiving thanks to the high damage and evades that are quite literally baked into the rotation means that almost anyone new to the DPS role can pick up this moderately easy damage dealer with little trouble. In this video, I'll be covering a couple different ways to play Power Vindicator outside of just one weapon set. In other words, there will be something for everyone here. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the build. As with most power builds, we run full Berserker's gear with Superior Rune of the Scholar. Our amulets are also Berserker static. The weapon set is a greatsword for our damage with a staff for break bars. Both of these will be Berserkers with Superior Sigil of Force and Superior Sigil of Impact. For legend options, you're going to want to have Assassin and Alliance stance, as these two are the highest DPS options available to us. That being said, however, Dwarf stance is still a fantastic pick for DPS, as it used to be the better option up until recent patches. Not to mention the added stability and easy use that comes with it. Finally, we will briefly go over the traits. Most of this stuff is pretty standard. All of our traits will increase our damage in one way or another when we dodge or when enemies are at a certain health threshold. With all DPS builds comes a rotation. The Greatsword build is one out of the two that I will be covering in this video and is by far the easiest. Start in Alliance stance and use your elite skill. From there, immediately dodge into a Greatsword 5. Before all this has a chance to go off, you're going to want to swap over to Assassin stance and use Impossible Odds in order to add tons of damage onto the two skills that you just used. After this opener, you will go ahead into the actual rotation. Use Greatsword 2 off cooldown as often as you can. While you're doing this, however, make sure to not cancel your own 3-hit auto attack chain. Chances are you'll be waiting for the Greatsword 2 to come back up off cooldown, so in the meantime, make sure to complete these auto attack chains and upkeep your damage buff by dodging. Once Greatsword 5 is back up off cooldown, go ahead and use that with Impossible Odds still up and swap over to Alliance stance, as you'll be out of energy. You'll want to stay in Alliance stance repeating the Greatsword 2 rotation. Your elite skill and Greatsword 5 should be off cooldown around the same time, allowing you to pop both and hop back into Assassin stance for a big Impossible Odds. If you're looking to take this build a step further, you could add a pair of Berserker swords to your weapon swap and run a more dynamic DPS rotation. The rotation will be the exact same as the previous one, except whenever we switch to Assassin stance, we'll be swapping over our weapon sets as well. Because we already covered the Great Sword rotation, I will briefly go over the Dual Sword one so that we can see how it fits in. Once you've done the opener and swap legends, go ahead and change weapon sets as well. While Impossible Odds is up, you're going to want to look for a Sword 2 into Swords 4 and 5. Those last two will be your priority as they deal the most damage. Just like before, you'll be weaving auto attacks and dodges in between these cooldowns until you're out of energy, which will then require you to swap legends and weapon sets back to Greatsword. From here, it's just rinse and repeat. Use Greatsword 2 into Greatsword 5, and the elite skill to better line up cooldowns. Once both these abilities are back up, use them and swap over to Shiro for Impossible Odds and continue. Now, I do believe it is worth noting a temporary way to increase your damage significantly. There's actually a bug going around right now that allows Vindicator to deal thousands of more DPS thanks to our dodge ability dealing more damage than it should. This bug has been in the game for a few months now, so hopefully this video will bring it back to attention so that it gets fixed. But regardless, this is how you pull it off. Right as you're getting ready to dodge during your rotation, you're going to want to press Greatsword 2, and then as it's casting, immediately queue up an auto attack by pressing 1. Before any of these attacks go off, you will want to dodge, and this for some reason makes it so that your weapon damage affects the potency of your dodge. As you can see, the damage is increased drastically and gets even better with skills like Impossible Odds added into the mix. While I don't think you will get banned or in trouble for trying out this bug, I will encourage you to be safe and probably not abuse this in order to clear content. Well, that about covers all of it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I have a lot more content coming out that I think you'd like. Let me know what you think of the build and if you have become a true pumper after watching this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.